Good morning, precious people. Here we are together. It's another fresh day, and I'm so thankful for the irreplaceable light that you bring into the world. Today is a gift filled with so much possibility. Anything can happen today. So let's open this gift with kindness and curiosity. And remember, you're still growing and learning, and we can show grace to ourselves and other people. So, grab your nearest drink and let's check in with ourselves. Had my coffee today. I hope you're treating yourself to something yummy or healthy. I have my yummy, now I have my healthy. It's so good. Okay, let's go ahead and just check in. That means take a deep breath in, and as you let it out, you're scanning your body head to toe. See if you can feel where you're holding any emotions or tightness, and then you can kind of think about it like, why am I feeling that way? Oh yeah, that thing happened. And then you can let it go, Are you ready? Okay, deep breath in. I do feel a little congestion. I felt a little bit here. I don't have really any tension that I'm holding. I have let go of a lot of obligations that I've been involved in lately. So I have been able to kind of clear out this busy, full, I don't know how to explain it. It feels full and my head feels full. So much to think about and do. So I've been able to let go of a few things. Like I said, I feel like I have some congestion going on. Nothing a cup of coffee won't fix. Just kidding. I wanted to talk about something kind of serious today. All week I've been trying to talk about this loop, mindset we get into, this scarcity tunnel that you get focused on, boo, 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 rent, gas, insurance, kids at school, the homework, the cooking, so you can't explore other things or make improvements in your life or break out of this kind of cycle you have yourself in. Believe me, I've been there. So, yeah, I'm trying to get people out of this stuck mindset. Let's talk about, it was community, marriage, parenting. Now I want to talk about finances today. So poverty isn't just a lack of cash, it's a lack of buffer. Today I'm going to look at how to build a financial circuit breaker that stops a single bad break from turning into a generational crisis. Because I know poverty can be generational. You can break that cycle of poverty, that generational mindset of this is just what I get. I just go to work, come home, I don't do anything, I don't plan trips, I pay my mortgage or rent or car payment. But it's not instant. That's the thing. It's not an instant break. It takes a lot of effort over time to get out of this. So let's break the cycle of poverty through discipline and financial literacy and personal responsibility and stewardship. So, for many families, stability is a fragile thing. It's that mental state where you're so focused on today's bills, you can't think about next year's opportunities. Often the difference between staying in a tunnel and breaking out of a single loop is just personal responsibility and effort. So that emergency, it's that small emergency fund or a bit of financial knowledge that stops your car breaking down from becoming a job loss, which then becomes an eviction. So today we're going to talk about personal responsibility for our pennies so you can protect your peace. Like I said, I'll just give you a little bit of background. We got married when I was working at Starbucks. He was working at Office Max, and our combined income was hourly of, I believe it was maybe $11 an hour between the two of us. And back in the 90s, that wasn't too bad. We were living in a little apartment. I believe it was $400 a month in a little one-bedroom apartment. So, I mean, that's doable. But we had a baby on the way. And we were not looking at being in a good place. But my husband got a new job that made more. I kept going to school part-time when we could afford it. I didn't get any scholarships or anything. We were just paying for it out of our pocket as we went. So it took me about 7 years to get my bachelor's. After I had my baby, got married, we were able to buy a home, and at that point our mortgage was like $900 a month in 1998, I believe. And we were still underwater. We were living, bouncing credit card balance to credit card. We put a car on a credit card. We got to where, when I started going to graduate school, I had volunteer taught the year before at a Christian school. All the teachers are volunteers, so I wasn't making money for a year. Then I went to graduate school for a year and then became pregnant with my second child. And by that time, we were $30,000 in debt. And so when I got pregnant, I left school. I started working at a clothing store in the mall to try to make money. It was, I wouldn't say bad financial decisions. It's just the situation that we were in. And okay, so it was bad financial decisions. I'm in complete denial. It was bad. So we got into this deep, deep hole. It was awful. And then my husband got another job, or no, he was still with the same place. Anyway, so when we had our son, we needed a 3-bedroom house, and we were in a 2-bedroom house. So we started looking around. We looked for a year. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. We sold that home that was $900 a month mortgage. It was a little condo. We sold that. Thankfully, we had enough equity in it to pay off that $30,000 in debt, and we were never going into debt again. You felt like you were drowning every day. I couldn't wake up and not think about our debt and how we're going to pay our bills that month. It was awful, trying to go to school, trying to be a new mom, trying to do everything, work. I ended up working at Starbucks until like midnight every night and going to school in the morning, and it was crazy. It was a hard time, and I never want to do that again. So once we paid off that debt, we got out of debt from selling our home. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, the 4 of us, for a year, maybe it was a year, almost. Well, we saved up money, and we had 1 car. What else did we do? Then we got the housing market really bottomed out around 2007, 2008. So that we got a big, beautiful home for super cheap. Thank you, Jesus. What a blessing. And then, so we haven't been back in debt since and I'll share some more of what we've done. But let me finish what I've written here. In the news this morning, financial analysts are calling 2026 the year of the micro leak between streaming services, app subscriptions, and then the buy now, pay later like Klarna and Zip. Don't do that. Don't finance your Uber Eats purchase. Please don't. The average household is leaking hundreds of dollars a month without even realizing it. These small decisions are the termites eating at the foundation of your house. But we're also seeing a rise in financial peace groups in community centers, people who are tired of being a slave to the lender and reclaiming their agency. Why is it so hard to save? We have to look at the sunk cost fallacy. Have you heard that? I've heard that before. It is where you're already so invested in something, or you've put so much into something and you know it's not right, it's not what's best for you, but you keep going down that path. You've already sunk the cost in it, and it's a fallacy because it makes you think that you have to go finish through it, even though it's still costing you more money. It would be better if you just left that. I had a couple of examples. It's like buying that concert ticket or that subscription to something, and you just make yourself go when even you're feeling sick. It makes you sicker, then you miss work the next day, or something like that. A business investment, you continue to fund a failing project to the significant money you've already put into it. Or your personal relationship, staying in a relationship because of the time and effort you've already put into it, and despite your growing unhappiness. So that's the sunk cost fallacy. Also something called the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. Stanford. I don't know why I was thinking Sanford. The Stanford Marshmallow Experiment was a psychological study conducted in the 1970s where children are given a choice between one marshmallow now or two if they could wait for a short period of time. And the experiment aimed at exploring self-control and delayed gratification. Like the long-term findings discovered that children who have that tendency to wait and delay gratification had better life outcomes later on. So we often keep spending money on things that don't serve us because we've already spent so much, or we choose that instant reward of today's purchase over that delayed reward of financial security tomorrow. Science shows that when you have an internal locus of control, you're significantly more likely to save. So why is that? It's because you believe your future self is someone worth protecting. I plan to live for a while. I am coming up on 50, so I feel like I have a few good years left in me. And so, I love nice things. I love surrounding myself with things and trinkets and whatnot. But I know everything. I know this. Material things do not bring lasting happiness at all. They don't, unless it's making your life better. Something that increases your productivity or efficiency or makes your life easier. Those things can bring you lasting happiness, but buying things gives you that short hit of dopamine, and then the money's gone forever. So I've learned that. I wanted to talk a little bit about minimalism. I've been really looking into that. Having less things around you can really improve your mental health because you're not thinking of all these things you have and managing inventory. I don't know. There's this lady I follow on YouTube. She's the Minimalist Mom. Give her a follow. She's so funny. I love her. So upbeat and sweet. Sometimes I'll just put her on in the background when I'm cleaning or cooking in the kitchen so I can just hear her voice because she's so funny. Her laugh is sweet. You really should check out the Minimalist Mom. I love her. I did want to talk about, well, that was all the psychology. I did want to touch on some spiritual, biblical wisdom because it has a lot in the Bible about being good stewards, using your resources wisely, like the parable of the talents, things like that. The Bible talks a lot about financial, the word that keeps coming to mind is stewardship. What you are given, what you do with what you have is very important. This concept of financial responsibility is deeply rooted in wisdom. In Matthew 25, the parable of the talents tells us that we're expected to be good stewards of what we've been given, whether it's a little or a lot. It's not about the amount, it's about management. Proverbs 21:20 says, "Precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it." This is the definition of breaking those cycles. If you grew up in a family where everything's just devoured and broken and not cared for, and you have that mindset, you'll be passing that down to your kids too. So if you are listening to the Bible's principles about how to manage your resources, how to manage what's in your house, that can break that cycle. You can train up your child in the way they should go, just like I was talking about yesterday. Definitely that generational poverty, scarcity mindset can be broken. A wise person keeps a reserve of the oil so that when the lamp of life flickers, they have the resources to keep the lights on. Being a good steward isn't just about money, it's about honoring that special light in your family and ensuring they have a stable ground to stand on. So, financial literacy is the ultimate form of education-based prevention. When you know how money works, you stop being a victim of outside forces, the system. You become the architect of your financial situation. Your homework today is to find a micro leak in your budget. A subscription you're not using, a membership, a habit that doesn't serve you anymore. Yes, you may have sunk some money into it already. You can get out of that. Cancel it. Find some way to reduce your budget just a little bit today. You can put that money that was going to that thing into a little fund. You can call it your circuit breaker fund or your rainy day fund. A lot of people have this for, like, even if it's $10 a month. And I suggest putting a little bit into your Robinhood account every month. If you can, invest a little bit every month on a schedule. You don't have to save up a big chunk of money and put it in. I love that about Robinhood. You can buy little bits of this stock. You heard something in the news, you're going to grab a little bit of that. So when you're doing things like that, you're telling the universe you're in charge now. So there's some things I wanted to share, some resources you can go online and check out. I'm going to, actually. I Googled some of these. Some I already know. Like I said, Robinhood, check that out. Once you buy stock in a company, you start getting their updates and information and their quarterly earnings reports, and you just get more knowledge. And start little, and then once you get more confident, put more money in there, bigger investments if you're able to. But I also suggest Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. It's a world-renowned program that focuses on baby steps to get out of debt and to build an emergency fund. They offer local classes and an online app. I'm not sure you have to pay for that. I'm not sure. I use Dave Ramsey's website to find like realtors and other people who have that same like financial peace mindset. There's so many resources. Just go on there, check it out. There's something called The Mint. It's a free, comprehensive tool for tracking your micro leaks. It puts all your accounts in one place so you can see where your money is going and set goals for yourself, for your fund. Hopefully this fund you're building or the investments you're doing. There's something also called Operation Hope. It's a global nonprofit that provides financial literacy for all. They offer free credit counseling, small business coaching, and a financial disaster recovery service. It helps bridge gaps in your knowledge and your ability. So to become a cycle breaker, a generational poverty climber outer, you're in this mindset, and how you think about money really was set a long time ago, and it takes some effort to break out of that. Anyway, I'm so happy I broke out of it. I tell you what, life is so much better. You can think clearer, you can make goals, you can plan trips. But there was a time in my life where every day was trying to bounce these credit card balances back and forth with credit card checks and bouncing checks. I mean, it was when we were using checks. It was fingers crossed every time I write a check that the money's going to be there, It was stressful. It was a stressful way to live. So get out there. If anything I said sparked a thought, if you wouldn't just tell me in the comments, if you got this far in the video, thank you, just for spending time with me, because your light is needed in the world. Each one of us contributes something, so let's help each other. Yeah, put your ideas in the comments if you've found something that worked for you. I would love to hear about it. Also subscribe if you get a chance. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Daily Maven. The world needs you. The world needs what we have to say. So let's help each other. Okay, I'll see you later. You're the Lord's precious ones. Bye-bye.